Hey guys, this is Austin, and today I'm here with something I'm pretty excited about. This is the new Microsoft Surface Studio. So this is really unlike anything that I've ever seen. So at first glance, it looks like an all-in-one. However, this hinge is crazy. So what's interesting about this over pretty much any other all-in-one out there is the idea that the guts are actually not in the display, but they're in this base here. So it doesn't look like much. It's still fairly thin, and you still have all of your ports around back. However, all the processor, GPU, hard drive, all that kind of stuff is in this base, which allows the screen to be a lot lighter and a lot thinner. I'm just gonna do this for a while, sorry. So the Studio is rocking a 28-inch screen with a resolution of 4500 by 3000. With 4.5K of resolution, things look nice. And of course, if you have a crispy video, that definitely helps. So something you'll notice is that it's actually not a traditional widescreen display. So with that resolution, that means that when you're watching a normal video like ours, you're actually gonna get bars on top and bottom. However, that gives you a little bit more freedom, a little bit more extra screen real estate, especially when you're scrolling through web pages, pulling up videos, that kind of stuff. So inside, you can get this with either a Core i5 or i7. You can get it with up to 32 gigabytes of RAM. You can also get it with some pretty serious dedicated graphics, either a GTX 965M or a 980M. Storage-wise, you're getting either a 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte hard drive, and that's going to be paired with either a 64 or 128 gigabyte SSD. That's a little bit unusual for a system like this not to come with full SSD options. However, for the most part, it's pretty spec'd out. Now with specs like a Core i7 and a GTX 980M, this thing can definitely game. So right here I have Forza Horizon 3. However, something like this really should be able to play basically anything out there. It might not quite match a dedicated gaming PC, especially when you put price to performance in there, but for an all-in-one, there's not a lot to complain about. Now something else that jumps out to me is that even though I'm playing a pretty intense game, this is really quiet. I mean, you can hear it, but you have to get way down here. I would be worried about thermal throttling, especially when you have something like an i7 and a 980. However, it seems to be pretty solid. Now alongside the Studio, there's the new Surface Dial. Now even though this is specifically for the Studio, you can also use it on other surfaces, or in fact anything with Windows 10. However, the cool part of this is that you can drop it right on screen and adjust just by scrolling it. So the thing is, it's actually a fairly simple piece of hardware. So it has this sort of rubber finish which allows it to just stick. You can obviously move the screen around and it'll stay right there. Or if you want, you can also just set it down. Maybe grab the pen in one hand, so I can see that maybe you're sketching, and then you have a little adjustment. So, now I want to back up a little bit, try again. So we also have the Surface Pen. Now this is the same if you've played with the Surface Pro 4, the Surface Book. As I'm drawing here, I can adjust the color as I sketch. So if I want to make it darker, make it lighter. Picture for a minute someone with actual skill using this. Oh, you can also use it to zoom. Okay, all right, I should have probably picked a different picture to do all this on. That's a little disturbing. So the navigation is really simple. So I can just rotate it and I get a little bit of feedback. And then when I actually want to click on something, I just tap it. One of the things that strikes me here is that everything is quick. Everything is responsive. I don't feel like I'm waiting for anything to happen. There's pretty much no latency with the pen. I'm able to adjust my settings really easily. If I actually had talent, this would be amazing. The Surface Studio is cool. So there have been all-in-ones before, there have been computers with touchscreens, and there have definitely been high-performance PCs. However, I've never seen such a blend of all of these elements in such a cool package. I feel like I keep saying cool, but there's really not a whole lot of other ways to describe it. It's just a really unique piece of hardware. So, the Studio will be available this holiday, although pre-orders are already live, and it starts at $3,000. So what do you guys think about the Studio? Definitely be sure to let me know in the comments below, and if you want a more in-depth full review when it comes out, definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.